parliamentary election for the 90 deputies to the National Assembly of Slovenia was held on July 13, 2014. The early election, less than 3 years after the previous one, was called following the resignation of Alenka Bratušek's government in May. 17 parties participated, including 7 new parties, some of which formed only months before the election took place. Party of Miro Cerar, a new party led by lawyer and Professor Miro Cerar, won the election with over 34% of the vote and 36 seats. 7 political parties won seats in the National Assembly. 3 political parties left the Assembly, including Zoran Janković Positive Slovenia, the winner of the 2011 election. A leftist United Left Party entered the Assembly for the first time, winning 6 seats. Background: after the last election in 2011, a right-leaning 5-party coalition government was formed, composing of the Slovenian Democratic Party, Civic List, Democratic Party of Pensioners of Slovenia, Slovenian People's Party, and New Slovenia. Janez Janša, the president of the SDS, became prime minister. Janša's government collapsed on February 27, 2013 after he was accused of corruption. Janša was later sentenced to 2 years in prison, and fined a 37,000. A new government was formed by Positive Slovenia, the Social Democrats, DL, and DSUS. PS leader Alenka Bratušek became prime minister. On April 25, 2014, Congress of Positiveness Slovenia was held in Brdo pri Kranju. The main agenda was the election of the next president of the party. 2 candidates applied for the post, previous President Zoran Janković and the incumbent Alenka Bratušek. Coalition parties SD, DL and DSUS have threatened to leave the government if Janković were elected. Janković was indeed elected, triggering Bratušek's formal resignation as the PM on May 5. On June 1, 2014, President of Slovenia Borut Pahor announced the dissolution of the Assembly on June 2 and that the election would take place on July 13. Pahor's decision to call the election during a summer month triggered some opposition from civil initiatives. However, the Constitutional Court of Slovenia backed the election date. Several new political parties entered the election, including Party of Miro Cerar, which was formally established on June 2, and Alliance of Alenka Bratušek, a splinter party from Positive Slovenia, that was established on May 31. United Left, Vejamem, and the Pirate Party took place for the first time in the European Parliament election on May 25 and participated in the national election as well. Solidarity Party agreed to enter the election together with Social Democrats, which earlier entered into an alliance with DSUS, albeit with separate candidates lists. Janez Janša began serving his 2-year prison sentence on June 20, which, according to the media, influenced the campaign of his party. Opinion polls. Poll results are listed in the table below in reverse chronological order, showing the most recent first. The highest percentage figure in each polling survey is displayed in bold, and the background shaded in the leading party's color. In the instance that there is a tie, then no figure is shaded. The lead column on the right showed the percentage point difference between the 2 parties with the highest figures. Poll results use the date the survey's fieldwork was done, as opposed to the date of publication. However, if such date is unknown, the date of publication will be given instead. Notes. Results. The party of Miro Cerar won a plurality in the election by a large margin with 36 seats. The only party that managed to win a higher percentage of the votes was Janez Drnovx Liberal Democracy of Slovenia at the 2000 election. Janša's Slovenian Democratic Party came second, losing 5 seats in comparison with the 2011 election. The difference between the first 2 parties turned out to be higher than most of opinion polls predicted. DSUS placed 3rd with 10 seats, the best result in party's history. United Left won 6 seats, with tracking polls showing gaining the momentum in the last days before the election. The Social Democrats lost 4 seats and obtained their worst election result. New Slovenia won an additional mandate and the alliance of Alenka Bratušek managed to win 4 seats. The Slovenian People's Party, Positive Slovenia, and Civic List all failed to retain seats in the Assembly. All other parties also failed to reach the 4% threshold. Turnout was slightly below 51%, the lowest since Slovenian independence. On the other hand, a record 3.9% of voters voted in the early election. In accordance with the Constitution of Slovenia, 2 seats are allocated to the Italian and Hungarian national communities, with 1 representative given to each community. Members of the Italian community elected Roberto Batelli as their representative, and members of the Hungarian community elected Leszedla Gar paragraph NCZ. They were the sole candidates. Following the results, Miro Cerar stated he perceives the large public support as a responsibility. He said he was open to enter coalition talks with all parties, except the SDS, which is directly undermining the rule of legal institutions. Zvonko Oeno of SDS said in his first reaction that the party considers the election result as illegitimate, since the party president was in prison for corruption after what SDS considered a politically motivated process. Karl Erjovic of DSUS stated that the party is ready to enter the coalition talks and that they will protect the pension funds. United Left, which was positively surprised by the result, stated that they are willing to participate in a government, although they won't compromise on their political program. Dejan Angstrom, one half Iden of the Social Democrats, was disappointed with the results, saying he had expected SD to score higher. New Slovenia and Zaab both perceived their results as a success. Frank Bogovia of the Slovenian People's Party was surprised by the fact that the party missed the required 4% of the vote, albeit only barely, and stated that he will not run for the party president at the Congress. International media noted that the winner of the election is a political newcomer and that his success is punishment by voters for the traditional parties, tarnished by corruption scandals and years of economic turmoil. Cerar was seen as a politician and tarnished by the corruption scandals. Media also noted that Cerar opposes selling controlling stakes of strategic infrastructure, such as telecoms provider Telekom Slovenia and the international airport, Aerodrom Ljubljana, and stressed that one of his main tasks will be to reduce the national budget deficit. Croatian media drew parallels between Cerar and Drnovac, hoping that Cerar will return political culture, tolerance, and mutual respect into Slovenian politics. Jutarnji List saw the main reason for the defeat of SDS in the fact that the party has relied too much on the imprisoned party president. The Wall Street Journal stated that the most likely coalition partners would be the Social Democrats and DSUS, while Slovenian journal Finance suggested that the best coalition would be with the Social Democrats, New Slovenia, and Zaab. A coalition government of SMC, DSUS and the Social Democrats was formed in September. References